You tune into the SportsCast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the SportsCast. Tune into the SportsCast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in to the OutSpoken SportsCast. Sorry, I'm a little late to the 6:15 showing here. I had some camera difficulties, but we got all that figured out here for you. All right, guys, this NFL Week 8. This is the episode number 80 of the OutSpoken SportsCast. So we're at number 80. I tell you what, this week in the NFL was crazy. There was a lot of games that went the other way. There was so many games that I got wrong this week. I was 8-7 with my predictions. A bad week for me. Usually, I've been doing 11-5 or 10-4 and stuff like that. This week, I was off, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people were off too as well because the backup quarterbacks. It was the backup quarterbacks brought horror to the NFL this Halloween, as three of them pick up the wins this week. You got Cooper Rush and Dallas beating Minnesota. You have Mike White with the Jets upsetting the Bengals. I think that was the biggest upset that we've seen. Or Simeon and the Saints over Tampa. That one's pretty bad too as well. So those backup quarterbacks getting the job done, bringing the Fright Fest there for good teams. And when a backup quarterback comes in, usually that team doesn't have a chance to win. So it was crazy week. I projected the Cardinals to beat the Packers. Now, we talked about this a little bit on our last Saturday for our episode 79. I kind of went into the Green Bay victory and how great it was for Green Bay and what it meant, what I thought it meant and what I took away from it. Green Bay gets to win. They played. I was going through and talking about how Matt LaFleur changed the game plan up going into the Arizona with no starting wide receivers. We get the job done. We rush the ball well. Aaron Rodgers only threw for 180. We got that job done defensively. Murray did not have a rushing or passing touchdown. So very good job for Green Bay. I've seen a lot this week in the power rankings that Green Bay has made it up to the number one spot. So great win for us. Cardinals are still a tough team, but we got that victory. But I'll take that loss. I projected the Cardinals to win going into the week with what we had to get over. Our defensive coordinator had COVID, Adams with COVID, Lazard COVID, MVS COVID. So going through all that and trying to find a way to win against a good team, I predicted us to lose. I'll take that loss. The next, I'm pretty sure everybody in the world got this one wrong. The Bengals get upset by the Jets. Mike White, backup quarterback, came in, and, man, he looked good. He had 405 yards passing. What a beast. What a beast to come in and do that against the Bengals. A very good team, a good defense. This is your typical trap game. Coming off of the bye the Bengals did. I guess they weren't all there this week, and the Jets pull up the upset. And the Jets were down at 11 points into the third or fourth quarter, and they scored 14 points just like that and took the lead, and the Bengals came back, and then the Jets ended up getting 3, and they ended up winning the game. And that was a shocker. That was one that took out a lot of people in my Survivor League. So I'm glad the Bengals lost that one because it helped me out there. Tennessee and the Colts. This is another one I got. I actually got right. I picked the Tennessee Titans to win this game. But I got to thinking about it, and I was like, they're probably going to lose this one, and this is one of those games that Tennessee tends to lose. They're inconsistent. They'll have really good wins during their season, and they'll lose to the Colts, or they'll lose to a team that you wouldn't find them losing to. And they were down 14-0 real quick, but Carson Wentz likes to turn over the football and gave the Titans back into it. Now the Titans ultimately take a loss here as Derrick Henry is out for probably the remainder of the season. They say he could miss 8 to 10 weeks, but more than likely it could be the rest of the year. And you can go ahead and count it here, guys. The Tennessee Titans are done. Stick a fork in them. They bring in Adrian Peterson to try and help the trade deadline, but Adrian Peterson's 36 years old, and I don't think he's going to help that much. So Tennessee runs so much through not Aaron Donald, Derrick Henry, that this offense will not survive without it. And it's going to put a lot of pressure on Tannehill. I'm not a big believer in Tannehill. And I've always thought that if you were to force Tannehill to beat you, you have a good chance of winning that game. So he's not going to be able to rely so much on a running back that averages 6, 7, 8 yards a carry, because Derrick Henry's a beast. He's going to have to be better at throwing the football, and we'll see how that works out for him. And maybe he proves me wrong, but I think the Tennessee Titans are done. I'm going to go ahead and call that, stick a fork in them. The Rams, 38-22. This game was the Houston Texans scored some in garbage time. This game was over real early, and the Rams get an easy win. Not much more to go there. This one was disappointing. I did pick the Rams to win that one. I picked the Browns to win over the Steelers. They lose. The Browns only scored 10 points. The Steelers put up 15. I would say the Browns defense did their job. When you can keep a team on 15 points or under, that's fantastic. If my team can hold someone to 20 and under, great. That's a great defensive game in my opinion. And the Browns offensively just struggle. Baker Mayfield struggled a little bit. Landry could not catch. They was trying to throw the ball to Landry, and he could not catch. He was missing catches left or right. Nick Chubb only had 61 yards, and they cannot get Odell Beckham in there. They cannot. I don't know why it's a struggle to get this guy the football. Maybe it's Odell. Maybe Odell's washed with his injuries and getting older, but they cannot figure a way to work. There was rumors about him being traded and everything, but maybe at the end of the season, it didn't happen today in the trade deadline. So the Steelers get that win, and the Browns fall to 4-4. This is a team that so far they're disappointing. I had high expectations for them coming into the season with the talent they have, and I projected them to win the division. So I was wrong there. So far, I mean, it could happen. It would take probably a miracle at the end. So I was wrong on this game too. The Lions. I projected the Lions to get their first victory. I said, look, this team has been playing hard. They've been fighting tough, and I could not have been further from the truth on this one. The Eagles put up 44 points. They beat them 44-6. Lions are 0-8, and poor Dan Campbell's crying his heart out again on camera after the game. I don't know. I don't know how long this could continue. Head coach crying up there because he feels bad for his team. I don't know how long that can last. Now, 0-8, the Lions, are they going to go 0-17? I don't know. They've been playing good. This game was not a good game for them. Obviously, you see the final score there. They gave up 21 points in the third quarter alone. Jalen Hurts had 103 passing yards, so it's not like he came out and lit it up. Let me check over that turnover battle here. I'm guessing that they had a lot of turnovers there in Detroit, but the Eagles just run over them. I mean, this was not even close at all during this game, and I thought I was going to get one, and I didn't, and I almost picked the Lions in my Survivor League, and I'm glad I didn't. The 49ers get the job done, 33-22 over the Bears. This one was close. The Bears went up early, but 49ers ended up coming back, and these are two teams that are disappointing, I would say, this year. You know, the 49ers went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They come back last year, and they had really high hopes with a good defense. And Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt again, and they don't know who their quarterback. They had backup quarterback last year, so is Jimmy their guy? They traded for Trey Lance. When is it going to be his chance there in 49ers? Like I said last week, give the ball to Trey Lance and let's see what can happen, because you know Jimmy Garoppolo is not that guy. Excuse me. Sorry. If I don't drink water, my voice is gone by the end of this. So, but the 49ers get the job done there, 33-22. Fields made some good plays, especially with his legs. He had one play with his legs. It's just like it was a great run by him. Jimmy Garoppolo had 322 yards. Justin Fields only had 175, but he put up 103 rushing yards. If you have games like that, then they should win some games. So we'll see what happens. The problem was they gave up 18 points in the fourth quarter to the 49ers, and that's what sealed the deal. Anybody check on Matt Ryan in this game? Matt Ryan gets his hand stepped on in this game. He is bloody. He's wiping his hands on his white towel. It becomes red really quickly. Continue to play, though, as Carolina gets the win here. And this is a game that I got. Did I get that one right? Bengals right. I got that one. I got this one right. I projected the Panthers to win this one. This one was a coin flip. The Panthers are the biggest frauds in the NFL. They started off 3-0. We thought, oh man, this defense is good. Sam Darnold seems to be playing really well, and then they lost 4 straight. So that being said, they're the frauds. The Falcons are bad, and this is just a bad game. The Panthers win 19-13, and both these teams really got to figure out their quarterback situation. Matt Ryan, they held on to, in my opinion, the Falcons held on to this team for far too long. They do let go of Julio Jones in Tennessee over the offseason, but they held on wanting to win the Super Bowl for Matt Ryan, and it's not going to happen. And they're just a bad football team. But they both got to figure out what they're going to do with the quarterback at the end of the season. I mean, you don't want to see what happened to the Steelers happen to the Falcons, where they show loyalty to their star quarterback, but he's washed. I mean, Big Ben's not playing well. He's washed. Matt Ryan, I don't know. I haven't looked up his stats this year. The team is bad. Can they trade him and get some to form over the offseason? This is time to rebuild. And the Panthers, they already have a new head coach. He's been there for 2 or 3 years now, and Matt Rule. And I don't know about totally rebuilding, but you've got to figure out the quarterback situation, because in the NFL, if you do not have a quarterback, you are not winning. You're not winning. And that's just point blank and simple. Bills get another win, 26-11 over the Miami Dolphins. Typical game here. The Dolphins, Deshaun Watson continues to stay with Houston. Dolphins didn't get the job done on making a successful trade package for him after all those rumors heated up here towards the end of the trade deadline. And if you want to know our opinions on the trades that happened, we spotlight of the week this week will be that on Friday night or Saturday this week will be our big show, and we'll give you all that kind of information and our thoughts on the blockbuster with Von Miller. It was really the blockbuster trade is the Rams get better on defense, but we'll go through all that here later on in the week. So look forward to that. That'll be episode 81 coming out this weekend. So, but yeah, my Deshaun Watson's stuck there in Houston, and the Dolphins are stuck with Tua Tagovailoa. And I know I probably butchered that last name. I always do, but Patriots upset the Chargers. The Patriots are so confusing. They're that team that they're up and down. They come in and beat the Chargers. which is a surprise. They go on the road and beat the Chargers, and then they'll lose to someone that you're like, oh, how did you lose this team? They almost lost to the Texans, so they're a very confusing football team, and that's got to be frustrating for Bill Belichick. But Mac Jones had a decent game. Justin Herbert only threw for 223. We're used to him throwing the ball all over the place, and that defense was able to make him struggle a little bit there. And Patriots get the road win. So, what's their record right now? The Patriots are 4-4. Will they make a wild card? I don't know what the wild card situation is looking like over there in the AFC. But if they get into the wild card, we'll see what happens. Mac Jones is playing well enough for this team to win. And there was a nice, gritty win for the Patriots in LA. Jacksonville falls to the Jaguars fall to Seattle 31-7. Boring game. I cannot watch Seattle without Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson showed a picture the other day that he did get the pin out of his finger, so maybe he'll be able to come back sooner than later. The Seattle Seahawks are 3-5. I projected them all before the season started. I projected them to be the weakest link in that division. I didn't know Russell Wilson was going to get injured and then make that happen. But to me, they're going to finish last in the division, and they're fighting with the 49ers for that spot right there. But they beat Jacksonville pretty easily. Jacksonville's fighting for that number one spot. It's the only fight they put up this year with all the distractions, Urban Meyer and the rumors of not getting along. And so, I'm hoping that things turn around there for Trevor Lawrence, because I think he's going to be a good football player, and I don't like to see those distractions. Next is the Denver Broncos, and I picked Denver to win this game, and they got the job done. The Washington football team, it's not the same team they were last year. And I don't know where the fall off is, because, last season, I'm going to guess it's got to be a quarterback, because last year they had Alex Smith. So they won their division last year. Now, it was a horrible division, but they won it. Someone had to be a winner, and they were there. So they're 2-6. They're not going to win the division. They're not going to come close to it. Cowboys got the division wrapped up already with a nice bow on it, especially after picking up the win with a backup quarterback. But the Broncos defense holds Washington to 10 points, and the Broncos score 17 to get the job done. And these are the games that this is the type of game that the Broncos want to be in. That maybe not that they want to be in. Let me rephrase that. That they are set up to play. They're going to score little points, and they're gonna hope their defense can make you score littler. And I'm talking about the Broncos aren't putting up over 20 points a game, so their defense has got to come up big. And they watch the football team only score 10, and when your defense is only scoring 10, you're going to win some games. Or when the defense is holding the other team to 10 points, you're going to win some games. The Broncos don't win a lot of games. Their quarterback situation, and that's why I'm not high on the Denver Broncos. It's because they don't have a quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is not a good quarterback. He is a bus driver. That's it. And if he's turning over the football, you're not going to win the game. He didn't turn over the football in this one, I believe, but they get the W. They're 4-4, and I don't know what your expectations were for the Denver Broncos going into the season. I think it's all about you as a fan. Whatever team you are, is your expectations. Does it meet reality? And I try to stay pretty even keel. I know Green Bay is going to be in it as long as they got Aaron Rodgers, and I know we're going to be a good team, and we have a tough schedule, but I try and be realistic. I don't come on here and say Green Bay is going to go 17-0 every year. I try and be realistic. Your team's going to lose games they shouldn't sometimes. Teams are going to play divisional games harder and tougher. So I don't know what your expectations are out there for your Bronco fans this season. It's 4-4. Does that meet your expectations of what you thought? Jeff my co-host didn't have high expectations for this team because he's realistic about his football team and just, any kind of bonuses coming out of the season for him was just a bonus, was just that. So let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think, guys. Sorry, I got a message here from the co-host Jeff. Um, the Saints upset the Bucks. Sorry, the Saints upset the Bucks 36-27, and this was, I kind of teased it last week. This is the revenge game for Jameis Winston, right? But Jameis Winston actually goes out in this game, and he's actually out for the whole season as he tore his ACL. He left with that and a concussion as well. And Trevor Siemian, 159 yards. This is really their defensive win here. It wasn't Trevor Siemian coming in and just killing it, but he did good enough to get the job done. I can't believe the Bucks lost this game. It's one of those trap games. It's a divisional rival. I guess it's not really a trap game if the Saints are 5-2, but it's a divisional rival, and you play your defense or you play your division really, really tough and tight and hard because that's your main goal. That's your goal number one is win the division, and then go from there. But so when I'm looking at predicting my team's schedule or projecting my team's final outcome of the year, as far as the record goes, I always give a split usually between division teams because I know the Vikings are going to play as well. I know the Bears are going to play as well, and the Lions that should be, they play us tough, but we usually win. We usually own our division, but I don't ever project us to sweep our division in any which way. So this is one of those games that Buccaneers let slip. Brady had a chance to drive down and tied the game up, but he threw an interception. So they end up losing that game, and the Bucs are 6-2, which I will take. Man, the next game, I woke up shocked. I was telling my mom all week. My mom's a big Cowboys fan. I said, "Look, Dak Prescott don't play, you're not winning. Dak Prescott don't play, you're not winning." Dak Prescott didn't play, and they won. I cannot believe that they won. You had Cooper Rush, 325 yards. He looked really good. The Vikings are one of the most frustrating teams in the NFL. I don't know how you Viking fans do it. Can you please tell me how you do it? This team is too talented to lose to lose. Your coach is conservative, too conservative. Okay. Your coach is too conservative, and this will be his last year. It's got to. I wonder if Kirk Cousins goes as well, but this offense is too talented to only put up 16 points. Cowboys get the job done here. This is a big win for them. This is a win. And someone asked this question the other day in a Green Bay page of who we want to win this game. The Vikings. It's not hard to understand. The Cowboys are fighting with us for that number one spot. So we would obviously want the Cowboys to win. Or we would obviously want the Vikings to win, and they failed to do so. So good job, Vikings, for not winning this game. But Dallas Cowboys looking good this year, to win without Dak Prescott. That's insane. I did not give them any chance to win this football game. They have enough talent on offense, enough talent on defense to get the job done. And we'll see if Dak Prescott is back this week against Denver. I don't know if Cooper Rush can beat the Denver Bronco defense. So we'll see. But I think Dak's going to be healthy. All eyes are on him being back this week. So we'll see what happens there. But, oh, man, the Chiefs. What's wrong with the Chiefs, guys? Can anybody tell me what is wrong with the Chiefs? Is it Patrick Mahomes? Is it the luck factor? I think it's kind of that luck factor. And plus, that they have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. I picked them in a Survivor League. They barely beat the Giants last night, 20-17. They were down 17-14 going in the fourth quarter. Patrick Mahomes threw an interception with 3 minutes to go in the fourth, but it was negated by an offside penalty. Again, the Giants cost themselves with offside penalties, like they cost them a field goal against the Redskins earlier on this season. So they offsides, it comes back. Chiefs drive down the field, score, and they go up, and they ultimately end up winning this game. The Giants had a chance to win at the end, but they foobarred that away and gave that away. So the Chiefs get that win. The Chiefs are 4-4. If you would have told me the Chiefs are going to be 4-4 this year, that Patrick Mahomes would be up there with, I don't know if he's leading the NFL, but he's pretty close to leading the NFL in interceptions. That, I would be shocked. This is a team that they've always hit on those big plays. And this week they focused on kind of driving down the field slowly, and taking their time down the field and not trying to hit those big plays. And Patrick Mahomes just getting patience. Yeah, his patience, he didn't have enough patience to do so. And he's got to learn that, right? He's got to learn to have patience and take those long drives. And sometimes you got to just take what the defense gives you. And as long as you're moving the sticks, that's fine. Like Tom Brady's whole career has been that, basically, especially in New England. Now he's kind of opening up a little bit with a different playbook, but it's been, I'm going to have these 12, 13, 14 play drives. We're going to run the ball. I'm going to throw little check downs, but it's what the defense is giving you. And you're still moving the chains, then there's not really any problem with that. So Patrick Mahomes has to learn how to be better at being patient and driving down the field. Now they get the win here. Not a satisfying win for them whatsoever. Win's a win, and you'll go into the locker room and you'll have you'll be relieved that you won, but to barely beat the Giants is crazy. This is in your home stadium too. So I can't believe they barely won that. The teams that were on the bye were the Ravens and the Raiders this week. So I not so good on those picks, but who could have told you, if someone told you that there was 3 backup quarterbacks going to play in most of these games this week and that all 3 of them would win, you wouldn't have ever guessed that. So I'm going to give myself a little break there. The Bengals, what happened to the Bengals? Coming off a bye, maybe they were still, some of them were still on vacation, and the Jets get the win. Good for them. Zach Wilson, if Zach Wilson's playing, do they win this game? Right? I think that's a question they got to ask him for. Is maybe they set him out next week and let Mike White play again and see if it was just one of those lucky weeks for him. But 8-7 this week, that was not good at all. So I got to get better there with my predictions. So I put my predictions up every Thursday, little video on TikTok. I'm going to start using TikTok for a little more things. Like I said, look forward to the episode number 81. This is episode number 80. It's NFL Recap Week 8. It's going to go up. It's up right now live on YouTube, and then I'll put it up on Buzzsprout, and that will filter into every podcast destination that you want to watch there. So, or watch or listen or follow and like and share. So you can listen on all podcast services, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Music. Did I say iHeartRadio? Yeah, Pandora. We're on all the platforms you can find a podcast show. And if you want to listen to us on Buzzsprout, definitely feel free. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and I run the Facebook, the Twitter, and TikTok, and Jeff runs Instagram. If you want to email me, you definitely can. It's OutSpokenSportsCast@gmail.com. You got any questions, any sports takes, you want to tell me your own opinions on sports topics, feel free to. That's why I'm on here. It's just to give my opinion, something that I like doing. Me and my buddy Jeff, he'll be on this weekend with me, and we'll give you the spotlight of the week. We'll give you the headlines of the week as well. There's been a lot of news that's breaking through the last couple of days, so look forward to that this weekend, guys. I've been extremely busy at work this week, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. So, that being said, God bless you guys, and have a good night.